What's going on, 7th and 8th graders? We're almost there to spring break. I know you're ready. Only 2 more weeks until then. But before we get there, we got a couple lessons that we need to knock out on code.org. So we're continuing our lessons on Unit 3, and we're actually to a really cool point. Lesson 10, it's called the Mini Project Caption Scene. So this is the point in the lesson where we take a break from learning something new and we assess and we kind of review what we've learned so far. Kind of like think about it as a quiz. Now, I'm not going to be grading it per se. I will be looking at it, critiquing it, seeing how much of these coding skills you've picked up. So it won't be a grade per se. So don't worry about that. But obviously we want your best work. And let's take a peek on Lesson 10, Bubble 1. We're on Lesson 10, Bubble 1. And as you can see, obviously the first bubble every time is the question of the day. How can we use GameLab to express our creativity? And you're going to be able to be creative this time. It's not you got to follow this rule and do this. You're going to create your own scene. It does need to be captioned, meaning it does need to have text in there. And each bubble is going to have you add another step. And then it adds it as you go. So bubble 2, you'll add the background. Bubble 3, you'll add a scene, some sprites. Bubble 4, you'll start to add captions. And then it kind of adds to it as you go. So this is a really cool way to walk you through this mini project. So let's look at bubble 2. And bubble 2 is kind of your planning stage. If your English teacher told you to type an essay, you're going to need to plan that out. Here is an example of something you're going to look at. They've put some ellipses in there, some circles, some text. They put some sprites. So a really simple scene, but they've shown that they know how to do it all. They can put the shapes. They can put the sprites. They can put text. They've shown me that they've mastered this. Now, to plan this out, you're going to go to Google Classroom and you're going to find a document that's entitled Sprite Scene Planning. Sprite Scene Planning. And you're going to go down here to this box. And this is just a rough draft. Everybody's going to spend about 10 minutes on this in my class to just kind of roughly sketch what you want yours to look like. Now, we're not going to print this out. We're going to draw this digitally. Again, it doesn't have to look perfect because this is our rough sketch, our rough draft. The way you get there, and I've left some steps on how to get there, you're going to go to Insert, Drawing, New, Insert, Drawing, New, and then you're going to go to this tool right here called Scribble. And using Scribble, it's basically like you got a draw pad here. And you can change, I believe somewhere you can change the color maybe. But you're going to use the Scribble under this line. You got to make sure it's selected, and you can change the color once you draw it. Okay, I'm just drawing something, a smiley face there. Okay, so I save and close, and then it's going to, after I save and close that image, it's going to show up on the handout. Okay, now when you do your handout, you will need to turn that in. That way I can see what you're going for. This is your goal that you're going to create. Hopefully mine's going to work here. I see it kind of drawing over there. It's like glitched on me here. Still in the draw. Okay, so hopefully yours won't glitch, and yours is going to be inserted into that box once you've drawn your image. And then you'll use that to kind of game plan how you'll do this. And then at each bubble, you'll add something new. So the bubble 3, it'll prompt you to create a background. Then you'll add some sprites, kind of like they added the aliens to their example. The last step is you'll add text. And then when you get to bubble 6, you're going to review your scene. That's kind of like the big review. Make sure it looks the way you want it to before you submit it. So spend just a moment or two looking over that. And then, of course, I've already submitted it. But then you will submit that to me once you reviewed it, once you've made sure all the things are there that you need. Um, make sure that it looks kind of like the drawing that you wanted. Is there anything that you need to change last minute? And as always, you can click this little arrow and hide the instructions and see that. And then once you run it, it'll give you an option to submit it. Make sure you're 100% finished before you click submit, okay? And I can't wait to see what you come up with. This is the main things that we've done over the last few weeks: how to create a background, how to add sprites, how to add text to your scene. We're putting that all together this week for the mini project. And be creative, guys, and showcase your skills. Show me that you know how to use these coding skills that we've learned. And Mr. Noakes is out. I can get this to stop.